95.5 KLOS and 955KLOS.com. I'm Stu. We're in Studio M, and my special guest today, Mr. Richie Kotzen, who welcome to KLOS, Richie.
Right on. Thanks for having me.
This may be one of your first times here.
Yeah, I've never been here before.
So a lot of people will remember Richie from a few successful years in Poison. And
Yeah.
the scandal, perhaps.
Scandal.
It's got to be juicy. And several more years in Mr. Big.
Right.
What's new?
Well, I've been touring a lot. Last 6 years in Europe, mostly. Some runs in Latin America as well. And I did a record 2 years ago that came out called Peace Sign. And I just finally finished a new one called 24 Hours.
24 Hours.
And having my record release party in L.A. at the House of Blues on October 23rd.
Which is a Sunday night.
Sunday night. So that means free parking on the street.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, they told me that.
That is valuable information, because I hate parking in that place.
Yeah, it's kind of a nightmare. So that's cool. And I've been just kind of getting ready for that, and I'm doing a benefit for animal shelter.
Right.
And so I'm excited about that. That's going to be the following month in November, on the 13th.
Humanity Through Music.
That's right.
At the Avalon.
At the Avalon.
November, another Sunday night, November the 13th.
I only play on Sunday night.
Well, good. You're like, you found religion or something.
Yeah, it's kind of like a religion.
I have to compliment you. 24 Hours. I haven't heard the rest of the album, but you know it's easily findable on your website, richiekotzen.com. No T.
Right.
And the song 24 Hours is a killer jam. It's
thanks.
really something. And congratulations.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Now I realize I've got to play it live. And so I've been sitting there, trying to figure out what I did.
Well, luckily the camera's right on your fingers for that stupid, sickling intro.
Yeah, that's not necessarily 100% accurate, but I did my best when I tried to lip sync it,
Really?
But I had to go back and listen to that, and because I had recorded that quite some time before anyone's heard it, And that's kind of the thing. I write these songs, and then I forget what I do, and it comes time to do a tour, and I got to go back and relearn my own stuff. So that's what I've been doing.
You've got like 25 or something solo albums, out by Wikipedia's count.
Right.
Started doing them when you were like 18 years
18,
old.
yeah.
I mean, you must have forgotten more of your own material than maybe some bands even learn in their whole career.
Yeah, I definitely forgot a lot of stuff, and I know when I go on tour and people pick me up at the airport or whatever, and they have, I have this record of yours, and they're playing it. I'm like, that's me? Really? So that definitely happens. There's definitely songs that I wrote
usually,
that I
or
forgot.
What do you think when you hear it?
Sometimes, sometimes, and other times I'm just like slowly turn the volume down. I don't want to hear it.
Well, I want to hear more of this record, 24 Hours.
Yeah, I brought you a copy
really, really
somewhere.
Good. Yeah, here it is. It doesn't come out until, Sunday, the 23rd of October is the release party,
Yeah,
right?
it will be available there.
Cool.
But the official release was the 11th of November.
24 Hours.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Humanity Through Music, which is a really awesome cause, and you're one of the you are the headline entertainment for the evening.
Right.
Tell us a little about the charity. This is like the second year, I think.
Yeah, and this is something, I grew up with animals. I grew up in a kind of a farm-type environment.
Yeah?
It wasn't an operating farm, but it was an old farmhouse, and the barn was converted to a business. But we had a lot of animals, a lot of dogs and cats and stuff like that. We always took great care of them, and it's just really sad when, these animals get put in shelters and nobody takes them, and they're not treated well, and they end up dying there and being put to sleep and whatnot. So the idea is to have a place for these dogs to go where they're not killed and they can live, and until someone can take care of them the right way.
It's a great project and a needed project. Euthanizing animals has become like big business in LA, and it's really screwed up. Not just LA, all through the state and probably the country.
Yeah, there's got to be a better way to handle it than just killing them.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
So good. So that is going to be happening at the Avalon on Sunday, November the 13th, as I mentioned already. And there's Humanity Through Music is the humanitythroughmusic.com is the website to get all the rest of the details. There's Gretchen Bonaducci's band is also playing, and it's still coming together.
Yeah, it's going to be a great event. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So go to 955klos.com. Keyword is shelter, and that will take you to all the places you need to go to pick up tickets or get more information. Where did you grow up? I think the East Coast, right?
Yeah, about an hour outside of Philadelphia. I was born in a town called Reading, and we lived like on the main road that went from Reading to Philadelphia in this really old farmhouse that should have been haunted because of all the people that died in it, but I don't believe in ghosts, so I never saw one.
Back up. What?
Yeah. Yeah, it was, there's a lot of old kind of, buildings back there, and that house in particular, there were 3 or 4 people that had died in the house, and back then they used to have the viewing in the living room. So, as a kid, I knew about all this because I had a neighbor that couldn't wait to tell me all this stuff about what happened in my house and how this old woman died in the room that I sleep in. And she said when she was dying, she goes, the cancer was just infesting her body, and the stench. And the minute you walked in the door, you could smell death. Told me this horrible story when I was like 7 or 8 years old.
Oh my God!
And I would go to bed at night and have all these horrible images in my mind.
But you don't believe in ghosts?
No, I've never seen a ghost, and I don't believe in any of that sort of thing.
Good, because boy, if you do, that's
if I did, I wouldn't be able to live there. I'd have big problems. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have musical parents, or like how did that come into you? Or maybe it was one of the ghosts that jumped in.
Yeah, could have been. They were fans of music. My mother saw all the great artists like Hendrix and the Beatles and the Stones and the Who and anybody from back then. She saw them play. Yeah. So all those records were in the house, and my dad was more into R&B and had all those records. So that's what I was exposed to. Neither one of them played an instrument. Allegedly, my great-grandfather, who came from Italy, used to sing Italian folk songs to my mom. So I have his guitar, which is a really cool old Gibson acoustic. But she claimed that he wasn't very good. He just kind of strummed and
maybe
sang
it just
the
didn't
songs.
sound good to her.
To her, probably it didn't sound good, but maybe he was. Maybe he was a genius. I don't know. But that was the only connection there with any kind of musical background.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the R&B came from your dad, because
and I think it also came from growing up, listening to Philadelphia radio. I think that was a big part of it because that's what I heard. The Spinners or the OJs and that kind of thing.
Yeah. It really comes out. I really didn't realize what a big R&B fan and just how much R&B really, you emulate through your tunes. It's clearly the other half. It's the yin to your yang.
It's kind of a weird, thing. I grew up listening to classic rock and also, that R&B. So I guess it makes sense that as an adult it kind of infiltrated itself into my songwriting or my music.
Yeah. You said something that really struck me, and I'd never considered it before, and I wondered if you came up with any more pairings. You said what Sam Cooke is to Steve Perry is similar to what Otis Redding is to Bob Seger. Do you do you remember saying that?
Did I say that?
Yeah,
we were talking one night at my house at a card game or something, and we were just listening to music and just pointing out influences, and you could hear how some of the rock guys listen to the soul guys and where that came through. So I must have tweeted that or something. I was probably drunk because I never tweet anything unless I've been drinking. Yeah. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to me. Right. Otherwise, but so now I remember saying that.
So I thought about it. I'm like, wow, that's actually kind of deep or profound, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow,
especially for a drunk guy.
Particularly for a drunk guy. I'll have to go to one of those card games sometime. Dissect live. All right. Well, to reiterate again, House of Blues, October the 23rd.
Right.
It's the 24-hour record release party.
Yes.
And you're playing. You're performing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good luck figuring that
music songs.
out.
I'm going to play music songs with notes and harmonies that blend well together. And
harmonies.
And hopefully are appealing to the audience.
So something for everybody.
Yeah.
And then socially important gig.
Yes.
The morally important gig is on November the 13th. It's a Sunday night at the Avalon. Humanity Through Music. There's a green carpet. I think Marky Ramone is scheduled to show up.
That'll be great.
And it's a KLOS event.
Yes.
If I didn't mention that, you were kind of far out from it, so plan ahead. www.955klos.com. Keyword is shelter. And Richie, thanks for coming down, man.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure meeting you.
All right.
955 KLOS. See you.